Good evening. I'd like to thank you all for being here. And tonight, in honor of Jared, I'd like to tell you a story. And this story is about a king who created a competition for anyone to enter. And it was who could win, or it was a competition of who could paint the greatest painting of peace. And the winner of the competition would receive a great prize that would be given to them by the king himself. And so on the day of the competition, there were many paintings for the king to choose from. And the king, he picked two paints. The first painting was of beautiful mountains that overlooked a crystal clear lake. And this lake was so beautiful that it mirrored back the beauty of the mountains. And in the blue sky were perfectly formed white, fluffy clouds. And the painting was a masterpiece and was overall just very peaceful to look at. The second painting was also of mountains, but they were dry and bare. And off the side of the mountains were a roaring waterfall. And in the sky, it was dark and gloomy. There were thunderstorms and lightning crashing, and overall, it was just very miserable. But the king, he chose this painting because after further examination, he saw that behind the waterfall there was a branch, and on that branch there was a nest, and in the nest there was a mother bird caring for her babies, and the nest was peaceful and safe. So which painting won? Well, the second one did, and everyone was confused because why didn't he choose the painting where everything was peaceful and calm? But the king said, "Peace isn't the absence of noise, a world without struggle or conflict. Peace means to be in the middle of all chaos, but to yet stay calm and stay focused." And God talks to us about peace, that when we have even, and that we can have even in the world full of chaos. First, we must know that He is God and that He will deliver. And in Psalms chapter 46, verse 1 and 2, it says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea." And further on in the chapter, we see in verse 10 that it says, "Be still and know that I am God, and I will be exalted among the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth." So we know that we can be at peace because God is with us, and He will stand for us. And we can also know that even when the world gets crazy, God will help us, and when we seek Him, He has given us the ability to stand. And in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." And when the world gets loud and noisy, as a Christian, we can't just turn and run away from it. God has given us the power to stand even when everyone else is afraid. And sometimes we don't always understand why things are happening. The mother bird in the painting didn't have control over stuff out of her nest, but she was still peaceful. And in Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, it says, "And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." So we can still have peace in God even if the world says that we can't. And Jesus knew that we would have struggles, and He knew that we would need His peace. Finally, in John chapter 14, verse 27, it says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." In the world full of craziness, we can find peace if we seek God. If there are any needs, please come forward as we stand and sing.